Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
Drivers report a disturbing crime that starts with a car being rear-ended. When a motorist gets out to check the damage, a suspect pulls a gun. How to avoid becoming a victim.
A 33-year-old woman's recovering after being shot in the jaw. It happened in the parking lot of a Rockford liquor store.
And the Powerball drawing is back tonight, and it's one of the largest in history. How much you could win if you match all the numbers. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson.
Rockford police warn residents of someone causing car accidents on purpose, then threatening the victims with a gun.
Over the weekend, police learned about 2 separate times where this happened. Jess Lipson has more on that. Jess, what have you been able to find?
Well, Eric and Mimi, the 2 incidents were reported to happen Saturday evening. Around 7:30, an officer on Ethel Avenue was stopped by a 42-year-old man who was driving up Prospect Street and said he was rear-ended and then threatened with a gun. A similar incident happened to a woman earlier the day. The man said when he got into the collision, he got out of his car to see the damages. This is when the suspect held a gun and said, "Don't move or I'll kill you." The victim was able to get away with 2 teenagers in the car. If you find yourself in this situation, immediately call the police, keep your doors locked, and do not exit the vehicle. Log as much information about the other vehicle, the make, model, and the license plate, as well as the driver's description. The suspect is alleged to be black, in his early 20s, driving a maroon sedan. If you have any information about the incidents, call the Rockford Police or Rockford Area Crime Stoppers. Mimi?
All right, thanks, Jess. A woman is recovering after getting shot over the weekend. Saturday afternoon, first responders were called to N&N Food and Liquor on West State Street for a shooting. Officers were told a 33-year-old woman was opening her car door when 2 male subjects walked past her. One of them opened fire towards her. The woman was shot in the jaw. She was taken to the hospital and is expected to recover. No one's been arrested. If you know anything about this shooting, call Rockford Police or Rockford Area Crime Stoppers.
Police arrest 2 teenagers accused of opening fire in a Rockford neighborhood. Sunday morning, police were called to 9th Street just south of 15th Avenue for shots fired. Officers found several shell casings in the street. A few minutes later, police located 2 15-year-old boys and recovered a pair of loaded handguns. Both teens were taken into custody. They're charged with reckless discharge and aggravated unlawful use of a weapon. Officers are looking for whoever used a car to break into a Rockford business. Early Saturday morning, police answered an alarm at Rent-A-Center on West Riverside Boulevard near Central. They noticed the front door was shattered. Investigators say the suspect drove a car into the doors and stole 3 large televisions. If you know anything about who might be responsible, call Rockford Police or Rockford Area Crime Stoppers.
Investigators are working to determine the cause of a massive fire that destroyed a warehouse on Chicago's South Side. It happened around 6:30 this morning in Chicago Heights. Large plumes of smoke could be seen from 15 miles away. Part of what was on fire is the Morgan Lee Company. It's a 500,000 square foot plant that's family owned. They make custom fixtures for well-known retailers. No injuries have been reported.
The Ohio National Guard has been activated because of fears of a possible explosion at the site of a burning train derailment. That train was traveling from Illinois when it derailed near the Ohio-Pennsylvania border. Several cars were carrying hazardous materials. Officials are concerned about a potentially catastrophic explosion. Crews began a controlled release of toxic chemicals from 5 cars in order to reduce that threat. People who live nearby were ordered to evacuate. Ohio's governor stresses the danger if they do not.
The controlled release of the toxic chemicals also has the potential to be deadly if inhaled. Those in the red area are facing grave danger of death. Those living in the orange area are at risk of severe injury, including skin burns and serious lung damage.
The controlled release is set to take up to 3 hours. Representatives from the EPA continue to monitor both the air and water supply in the area.
Governor J.B. Pritzker and other state leaders announced a $40 million grant to boost business in the state. The money will go toward megasites, large developed pieces of land ready for manufacturers, distribution centers, and other industrial sites to set up shop. Pritzker says one of the goals of the megasites program is to attract job creators and to revitalize areas that are underutilized. Grants will range from $250,000 to $5 million and will be determined by an applicant's acreage. Eligible sites must have 200 contiguous acres. 33 of those sites are right here in the state line.
We're making it less expensive to do business in Illinois than it is in other states. I venture to argue to you that they are not cleaning up their sites at the pace that we are cleaning up ours. I'm pointing to Indiana. Yeah. And it's frankly for two reasons, right? One is we're being more aggressive at attracting businesses to Illinois. And secondly, we are more interested in being environmentally friendly here in Illinois. And frankly, businesses are too.
Applications are being accepted through April 6th.
A new marijuana dispensary could be coming to Boone County. The project's expected to come up at tonight's Belvidere City Council meeting. Last month, the city's Planning and Zoning Commission approved an application from Heartland Leaf. The 43-acre overall development would be on Crystal Parkway near I-90. Speaking of recreational marijuana sales show a strong start to the year. Illinois recorded a 9% rise between January 2022 and 2023. That's about $128 million more dollars. Analysts say the higher sales likely come from a number of new dispensaries.
After weeks of increasing prices at the pump, gas prices have dropped slightly in the state line. The average price of gas fell almost 7 cents, bringing it to $3.54 in Rockford. According to Gas Buddy, the cheapest gas station was selling gas for $3.29, while the most expensive was selling gas for $3.79. Experts say seeing a drop in prices in February is common and that we're likely to see increases as the temperatures start to warm up. Tonight's Powerball jackpot is the 9th largest in the lottery's history.
$747 million is up for grabs. No one's won since mid-November, so the pot has been growing. Odds of winning are still minuscule, 1 in 292 million. But someone in California won a $2 billion jackpot last November. That person hasn't come forward to claim the prize yet. We will have this drawing's winning numbers tonight for you at 10.
The suspected Chinese spy balloon is gone, but it's still causing drama on Capitol Hill.
Lawmakers have plenty of questions about why the balloon was allowed to fly across the whole country before the military shot it down. Hannah Brandt tells us about the recovery effort for pieces of the aircraft.
Right now, a U.S. military operation is underway to gather pieces of the suspected Chinese spy balloon that was shot down over the Atlantic Ocean.
What China did was unacceptable. We protected civilians and we gained more intel while protecting our own sensitive information.
Senator Chuck Schumer says the full Senate will get a briefing about the balloon next week, including what's learned from the recovered pieces.
We will gain invaluable intelligence information about what the Chinese learned, but also about how these balloons operate.
Many Republicans are criticizing President Biden for not ordering the balloon be shot down sooner.
He let it linger and spy on the United States for over a week.
Congressman August Pfluger argues the balloon should have been shot down before it flew over the U.S.
The data was already there and it was most likely already transmitted to China. The damage was already done.
But the Biden administration argues they were able to keep tabs on it from the start.
Taken practical steps since the time this high-altitude surveillance balloon was detected to mitigate its ability to collect intelligence.
Biden administration officials say at least 3 Chinese surveillance balloons flew over the U.S. during the Trump presidency. But former President Trump denies that. In Washington, I'm Hannah Brandt.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Our wind speeds are going to continue to increase here going through the night. Already gusts coming up to 35, even a little over 40 miles per hour out across northwest Illinois. These wind gusts will continue through this evening out ahead of a cold front. Sustained winds, those are also increasing from the southeast, now anywhere from 15 up to 25, even close to 30 miles per hour there. So it is going to be a windy evening, but that will help keep our temperatures climbing through midnight and then thereafter. So those wind gusts will continue, winds gusting 35 to 40 miles per hour through the night. Tonight could be a couple of spots where that wind gust comes close to even 45. That will last through about 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's when a cold front comes in, so the wind speeds will come down just a bit. We'll notice the wind starting to pick up a little, gusting 25 miles per hour once we get into tomorrow afternoon. As to our weather watcher down in Stewart, We're checking in at 38 degrees. Relative humidity sits at 83%. Wind now from the south and southeast at about 18 miles per hour. Temperatures in the upper 30s, 38 in Freeport, 39 here in Rockford, 38 in Rochelle. Wind chill numbers down just a little from where the actual air temperature sits, but our temperatures are actually going to climb here. So once we get to midnight, those numbers are already in the low 40s. We'll actually hang on to the low to mid 40s, even a couple of spots into the upper 40s by 2-3 o'clock tomorrow morning. So our high temperature tomorrow most likely achieved very early on, and then notice that temperature drops back as we get through sunrise tomorrow. You'll wake up to numbers down in the 30s. We'll make it back near 40 degrees for tomorrow afternoon. Beautiful sunset. Check this out on our SkyTrack camera. Almost actually looks like you've got, I don't think these are, but they kind of look like some modest clouds here. This is out in Freeport at the Park Hills Golf Course. This ahead of a cold front as that continues to move in. We are going to see some rain showers though begin to work in as we go through the 8-9 o'clock hour. These are expected to stay light here for the night, under 1/10 of an inch or so. So not a lot of rain coming up, but we've got a better chance for rainfall by the middle of this week, and that could even transition over to some snow and some slushy snow accumulations by the time we get into Thursday. So here we are with Futurecast. Notice temperatures through that 9 o'clock hour climbing into the low 40s. We've got a few light spotty showers, may actually in some spots end up just staying drizzled during that time. This will carry over through about 2 o'clock tomorrow morning. After that, it's the cloud cover that'll stay with us throughout most of our Tuesday. Tuesday late in the day as high pressure moves in, we'll start to see things clear out. With that high pressure system, wouldn't be surprised if we get some fog that develops. And as temperatures are down in the 20s, freezing fog, kind of similar to what we woke up to here this morning, possible for Wednesday morning. So could be a couple of slick spots there Wednesday as temperatures gradually climb back into the 40s once we get into the afternoon. Then we've got our next chance for rainfall coming in. This one will bring a little more widespread rain by Wednesday evening, Wednesday night. That transition over to snow will take place possibly Thursday, kind of depends on the track and just how much forcing we get with that low pressure system. Temperatures then will drop back for Friday. Small chance for a couple of snow showers there Friday, but I think we're back into the 40s by next weekend.
Now sports with sports director Scott Leber.
Yes, we're into Super Bowl week. Media night takes place tonight in Phoenix, and most folks who will be at the game Sunday have their tickets, but those who don't can buy them through StubHub, but they will pay a steep price. The cheapest ones are going for more than $4,400. The most expensive tickets are selling for more than $22,000. Of course, you can watch the game for free Sunday on Fox 39. Did you know that there is a State Line native who has played in 5 Super Bowls? That's right. I'm going to bring you that story tonight at 10 o'clock. Tom Brady has played in a record 10 Super Bowls, winning 5. His next one will be in the broadcast booth, although he told Fox Sports 1's Colin Cowherd today that he will not join Fox until 2024. He will sit out this year. The Broncos introduced Sean Payton as their new head coach today. Payton told reporters that Russell Wilson won't be allowed to bring his personal quarterback coach or any of his entourage into the team's facilities. Only team employees will be allowed inside. Let's see how that goes over with Wilson. The Ice Hogs 3 All-Stars will be back on the ice tonight in Laval, Quebec. The AHL's All-Star games will be played. Brett Seney, Lucas Reichel, and David Gust are the Hogs stars. Last night in the skills competition, Gust won the accurate shot contest. Now, Bulls will be in action tonight. They will host Isaiah Roby and the Spurs. Could Fred VanVleet be headed to the East Coast? NBA insider Mark Stein says the Nets are interested in him now that they no longer have Kyrie Irving at point guard. The Nets traded Irving yesterday to the Mavericks. The NBA trade deadline is this Thursday afternoon. We have a Monday winner on the PGA Tour. Justin Rose has won the weather-delayed Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Shot a final round of 60 to finish 18 under par.
Candace, we'll have another look at weather in just a moment.
First, here's Chris Cuomo's NewsNation preview.
Tonight on my show on NewsNation. A special report on Mexican drug cartels. They are planting their flags in our country, and they are killing us.
We no longer have border states. All 50 states are border states.
Hometowns all across America are in the crosshairs.
Guns, fentanyl.
It's ripping families apart.
It's not safe anywhere.
The investigation starts tonight on NewsNation.
That's all coming up on the cable and satellite stations you see on the left of your screen. You can also head to newsnation.com.
Candace is back, and boy, there's a beautiful sunset out there tonight.
It's gorgeous out there. I mean, with the warmer temperatures, the wind could ease up a little.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It's pretty strong out there, but yeah, if you've got a second to go out and view it, it's nice. And the best part about it, the sun sets a little bit later each and every day.
There's more daylight every day at this time. It's great.
It's something to be excited about. We've got clouds out there this evening. The first warning interactive radar will show a little more light rainfall in the next couple of hours. That'll kind of stay with us through midnight.
And you've got 4 cameras of
Four
that
cameras.
sunset.
Look at that. All across the state line, you can check out that sun setting. Cloud cover will continue to increase here. Temperatures are actually going to warm as we go through the overnight. We'll be in the low 40s even at midnight, climbing into the mid 40s possibly by about 2 or 3 o'clock tomorrow. But the temperature will drop back into the 30s, 7, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll even out about 40 degrees tomorrow afternoon. A little breezy too. 42 on Wednesday. Winds will pick back up Wednesday afternoon. We've got rain coming in. That could mix in or change over to all snow Thursday. Some minor accumulations with that. 30s through the end of the week.
Thanks, Candace.
And thank you for spending some time with us. Stay safe.